Story 1. I learned how to be funny. Once you can make people laugh, you will see them laughing at you for different reasons. Story 2. I am learning to accept my place in the world as an unattractive person. I believe life becomes easier when we accept our truth and stop chasing dreams that will never come true. In a relationship, if I want someone attractive, then I must offer much more than what an attractive woman offers. That is the way things are. We must work very hard to earn what we want. Story 3. Although you cannot control your body features, you can control your personal style, physical fitness, and attitude. Focus on being physically fit and interesting, and craft a personal style that reflects how you want to be perceived by the world. Story 4. I am an unattractive woman, and I have been so all my life. 45 years of feeling unattractive. I have accepted my appearance because there is nothing else I can do. Definitely not considering cosmetic surgery. I just move through the day and do not let it bother me. I am confidently unattractive, and that is that. Attractive privilege is a real thing. Story 5. Get fit, dress nicely in your style without spending a lot, get an education, choose your career or source of income, and take care of your life. Do not ever give up on the path. Confidence comes from the hard work you put in. Story 6. What is your definition of ugly? Just saying. Also, I am too old and tired to care what people think of me. I give people who ask heartless questions like this the finger. Story 7. Accept who you are and be brave enough to speak freely. You will learn and you will gain something as well. Story 8. The topic of ugliness is more of a philosophical debate than a factual matter of observation. I have always argued that ugly people do not exist because that is a purely subjective appreciation of one person observing another. There are deformed people, which refers to abnormalities in the structure, shape, or appearance of the face or overall look, but that is not what ugliness means. I am almost sure there are beautiful people who are considered ugly by others, but that is not a factual statement. Moreover, a human is made up of many aspects besides looks. Some people who might not be pretty to look at are charming or funny once you engage with them in dialogue. So eventually, are they ugly or not? The reverse situation is also possible when you have a well-looking person who has the worst character you have seen in a while, and it is a real turnoff. The point I am trying to make is that the aesthetics of ugliness is a complex topic that goes beyond one person's personal opinion of another. Story 9. Just don't think about it. Actually, it's relieving because you don't have to worry about looking good or not since you look bad all the time. It's like being bald, you no longer care. Speaking from experience. Story 10. How can you when you are constantly reminded by strangers how ugly you are? You accept it. Try your best to wake up each day, live your life, and spend all your plastic surgery money on exploring the world. Story 11. Confidence isn't built from being seen as beautiful by others. It's built from refusing to let how others see you define your worth. Society tells people they're ugly, but confidence is the quiet rebellion of saying, I matter anyway. You gain confidence not by pretending you feel amazing every day, but by choosing to show up for yourself even when the world doesn't applaud. That's power. The realest people I've met aren't always the best looking, but their presence, their heart, and their self-acceptance make them unforgettable. You don't need a new face. You need a new filter on how you see you. Society profits from making you feel ugly. Your self-hate is their business model. Confidence is when you stop buying what they're selling. Story 12. Confidence is not what you need. Self-reflection on why you believe you are unattractive is what is needed. You do not need to look good to be useful or productive. Get good at being useful and productive. Be efficient and avoid wasting resources. Produce more than you consume. Grow. Become a better person in terms of personality and establish yourself in a superior financial position and an equal or better quality of life than the people who are calling you unattractive. When you get there, let me know if confidence mattered. Story 13. I'm not ugly, just fluffier than most. But I know I am good looking because I can look at myself in the mirror and say, if I locked in and lost weight, I'd attract any female on earth. You have to have a personality and sense of humor while looking at yourself and seeing past your own flaws to find your attractive traits. Then emphasize them for others to see. If you have a nice smile, smile as much as possible. Attractive men and women don't have to be anything other than attractive. That's why most don't have much personality or a sense of humor. Story 14. Work on what you can. Most people will look significantly better if they have a haircut and outfit style that matches them. Basic hygiene, like washing your face to get rid of acne, helped me a lot, along with losing weight. Sounds obvious, but everyone looks better when they are thinner. I used to think it was nonsense, but seeing the way people transformed, like Ed Sheeran, it is undeniable. Losing 5 to 10 pounds helped me become more confident since my shirts fit better, and continuing to lose weight just built more confidence. Don't focus on things you cannot change, such as height or ethnicity. Story 15. Isn't beauty in the eye of the beholder? I have seen people with beautiful outer appearances whose personalities are unpleasant, and their outward beauty fades. I have also seen others who you might not give a second look, but when you learn who they are, they become truly gorgeous. Story 16. Do things you are good at. Rock climbing, join a gym, Super Smash Brothers, find a group, golf, join a country club. You will meet like-minded people, have a sense of community, and gain confidence in knowing you belong in a place. True freedom is finding real friends and not caring what the world thinks. Find your community and let the outside world fade away. Story 17. I am considered unattractive and have never been approached or complimented by any girl. I have zero confidence in my appearance. Even though I look quite normal, except perhaps for the poor color choices. I have my full hair at 45 years old, a very symmetrical face, and no obvious flaws. I guess I just look too ordinary to receive a compliment. Story 18. I have a tight fit body, long shiny golden hair, nice white teeth, and good personal style. My face is not perfect. I have a deviated septum, eyes a little too far from my nose, and a narrow palate. However, I have made the things I can control as attractive as possible without looking like I am trying too hard. The overall perception of me, if you ask people, is that I am attractive. Just focus on the things you can control and learn to accept the things that you cannot. Story 19. So, the more confident you are, the more attractive you will look. But make sure you are not entitled. It is not the same as being secure and confident. Dress the way you like and you will feel more confident. Have good hygiene, floss your teeth, shower, and follow a skincare routine. Some physical movement during the day will make you feel better, especially if you build some muscle. A simple 30-minute walk outside will make you happier and more confident. Story 20. I discovered something earlier this year that really helped me. Just take pictures of yourself a lot. No matter how you think you look, even if you feel unattractive, do it anyway. That's how you become familiar with your own face, and over time, you stop seeing the flaws you used to focus on. People usually don't notice the flaws we obsess over. They're used to seeing us as we are. When I look at myself in the mirror, I sometimes think, you don't look good at all, or you look terrible. But when I go out, people compliment me. Why? Because they see me every day and are familiar with my face, while I only look at myself once or twice a day in a mirror. So if you want to boost your confidence, start by accepting yourself. Don't compare yourself to celebrities. Do some skincare not just to clear your skin, but to convince your brain that you're making progress in caring for yourself. And if someone calls you unattractive, be confident. Own it. Say, yes, I am, and I don't want to be handsome or pretty. People are often more attracted to those who confidently accept their flaws. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being okay with who you are. Story 21. Generally, just being a nice and pleasant person takes you really far. I think a lot of people are turned off by unattractive people when the way they interact with others seems suspicious. They come across as bored, resentful, or self-centered. Sometimes pulling away from people because of low self-confidence makes it seem like, I don't want to deal with other people. So those people avoid you. If you are kind to others and tell jokes that aren't offensive, people's perception of you will change. Many people aren't as unattractive as they think, but a frown or scowl makes you look less appealing than you really are. Being well-groomed and well-dressed can also take you very far. Story 22. No disrespect to anyone who has already commented, but those saying there is nothing you can do are just flat out wrong and are giving bad advice. You are not ugly. You just need to work out, maintain good hygiene, and figure out your style. These things come with a massive boost in confidence, and you will quickly find that you become attractive to others. Story 23. Just in case anyone needs to hear this, you will look unattractive during puberty unless you are lucky or something. Once puberty is over, that is usually when you stop being unattractive if you are. If even then you dislike the way you look, remember the many examples of people undergoing transformation. And not just actors in Scott Cawthon, mind you. There is hope even for things you cannot work on or fix without surgery. Story 24. Well, firstly, acceptance. What I did was put my head down and work really hard. I ended up doing financially better than my peers by quite a big gap. Even though I don't think I am better than anyone, I feel like at least I achieved something. It gave me a sense of security in a way. I can't really explain it. Story 25. I used to be intelligent and that was a source of confidence for me, but then I had a head injury and I am not intelligent anymore. Story 26. Funny how you all ask about confidence as if being unattractive is a personality trait. Maybe start by not caring what insecure people think. Story 27. I just thought I have to live with it, so the least people can do is accept it. I am not my looks, and I do not care about people who judge solely by appearance. It does not give me much confidence, but at least I do not overthink doing things or attending places because I feel unattractive. Also, having a good personality is a great help. Story 28. I never have to worry about what other people think of me. I assume it is bad and am pleasantly surprised when it is not. Story 29. Act like you are not ugly. Confidence is a mask. If that fails, try to learn to be funny. Being funny will beat ugliness almost every day of the week. Story 30. I guess the first step is to reach a point where you do not think this post applies to you. Story 31. Do not focus too much on your appearance. Just focus on your health and be kind. You will attract the right people. It does not matter if they are many or just a few, as long as they are the right ones for your life. Story 32. I have to ask my neighbors. The man is overweight, wearing an anime shirt, and his face and hygiene suggest someone might say, "Milady." He has a decent-looking wife and a child with her. Story 33. I'm not considered conventionally attractive by most people, but I am at peace with that because I am grateful for what I already have. People argue about bettering themselves, but changing how you look because of a fragile sense of self-worth is like building a structure on a shaky foundation. They are lucky if they only build a house, but what if they build a castle? This applies to wealth, health, and more. What happens when you lose it all? Are you just going to end it? It is best to establish a strong intrinsic value first before looking to the external. Story 34. If I am not handsome, then I am at least handy. But seriously, nothing is more attractive than someone who invests in themselves. Body, mind, and surroundings. Story 35. By focusing on your values, you decide what kind of life you want to live and you live it despite your looks. Do you want to be kind, adventurous, emotionally intelligent? Well, read. What do you value? Pick those that are important to you and hold yourself to them every single day. In time, you will gain confidence not because of your looks, but because you are in control of your life. Because you uphold the values that are important to you, you will start noticing that you are more confident. You do what you say you will do, and you will gain confidence because you stop caring about the opinions of others. Most people do not value the things that you value. Thus, only a very small portion of people will remain relevant to you. Those people will be your tribe, and to them you will never be ugly. Stop trying to judge yourself by everyone else's standards and molding yourself to a generalized idea of what is pretty. Decide what you value and narrow your focus. Story 36. If you think you are unattractive, then you are right. Confidence comes from within, not from appearance. Look at Ed Sheeran. He is not the most handsome, but he is beautiful and attractive. Story 37. Go to the gym, make lots of money, be smarter, work harder, raise good children, make good decisions, defeat your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentations of their women. Story 38. Have you ever met someone who is very symmetrical and conventionally beautiful, but they have a bad personality? They lose some of their attractiveness. The opposite also applies. Be kind, be jovial, be generous. Do not become a people pleaser. Be kind to yourself too. What you lack in symmetry and conventional beauty, you will make up for in other attractive qualities. Just to be clear, you are probably a lot more attractive than you think. We are our own worst critics. Story 39. Based on the appearance aspect of the question, assuming you mean in relation to dating, I would say I am average looks-wise. The game changer for me in college was when I stopped trying. When I no longer cared about hookups, dates, or finding a girlfriend. The end results no longer mattered, and my confidence stopped taking hits from rejections. The outcome, however, was that I got what I actually wanted. Women can easily read men and know when you are talking just to talk versus trying to get something. Their responses to you and their perception of you are based on that. Once I made that switch, my dating life did a complete turnaround. I was rarely single for long and was able to have fun between relationships. Every time a girl nudged me to ask her out or gave me her number, it boosted my confidence. Story 40. Surround yourself with people who see beyond looks or do not live their lives by appearance or weight. This becomes easier with age once you realize that many so-called attractive people can be quite superficial. Story 41. I found that what helped me was playing to my strengths. Everyone has some. I used to just shave cleanly because that's all I knew, but I actually grew a decent beard, so I did. I was chubby, so I lost weight. I started using lotion, and I got a $250 bottle of Chanel cologne for men. I stood up straight and kept my opinions to myself. Suddenly, I started getting a lot of attention. People liked me, girls liked me. Strangers went out of their way to do nice things for me, and all I had to do was make a couple of minor changes. Ultimately, I'm still the same boy, just with minor tweaks that made a huge difference. Story 42. Ugly? Nah, I am perfect as I am. People should adapt to you, not I to them. Besides, a good chat and a good friend are just as valuable. Only dating life is a bit difficult. Yes, I have to say I am not really that ugly, just very skinny. But this mindset helps a lot. Story 43. I'm not an unattractive person now, but there was a period in my life between ages 9 and 14 when I believed I was ugly. During that time, I gained valuable skills and traits that make people want to be around you for reasons beyond your appearance. Are you intelligent? Are you funny? Do you have a talent? Are you kind? Are you a good listener? Are you considerate of other people's feelings and needs? Are you reliable and consistent? I also recommend turning off the mirror selfie feature on your camera. Your reflection is not what other people see. You probably aren't as unattractive as you think. It is said that we would not genuinely recognize ourselves if we were cloned and passed one another on the street. When I'm interested in a man, I stand in the mirror with him to see how he views himself. This has honestly answered many questions about the different behaviors of men I have encountered over the years and explained why some of the finest men I have dated thought they were unattractive and acted accordingly. Story 44. For me, it is not really about confidence but just acceptance. I understand I do not have the looks that people look for when seeking a wife, so I shifted my dreams from being a wife to being a worker. I work blue-collar jobs and I am so dirty and tired all the time that I do not have a chance to worry about how I look. Story 45. I am not everyone's cup of tea. I am a cold, flat Mountain Dew on a hot day. Someone will still drink it and think, meh, it will do. Story 46. You accept that you do not, so now you have the confidence of accepting expected disappointment at every moment. Story 47. Listen up. Simple math. Some people are just born with confidence, and that does not necessarily mean they are beautiful or ugly. I have seen people who are, by most standards, ugly, yet they walk around like they are the most beautiful person to ever exist, full of pride and full of charm. Then there are people who are truly beautiful, striking, glowing, but deep down, they believe they are ugly. It is wild how confidence can flip the script on beauty. Story 48. Yeah, ugly is subjective. If you make small children cry, you are probably okay. There is someone for everyone. It sounds like chick literature, but it is true. You think a steaming hot 10 in your eyes does not have self-esteem issues? Yeah, just fake it until you make it. Story 49. I will never experience everything I want and can in this life. I focus on making myself as happy as possible with what is available to me, and I do not think about what others think of me. While they are wasting their time judging my appearance, I am busy finding happiness. Story 50. There is a magic elixir. Some people have heard of it. Others have no idea it even exists. In my country, we call it liquid courage. Here, you call it alcohol. Be very careful. It is a poison. It is a carcinogen. It is addictive, debilitating, habit-forming, and completely legal, which I suppose makes it worse. My suggestion is to stay away from it. No good lies that way. In 40 years of being of legal drinking age, I have never once made a poor decision while intoxicated on alcohol. Not once. Every decision I have made has been with such clarity of mind that I could not possibly be impaired. Could I? Story 51. I do not care what other people think about me. If you find me unattractive, that is your problem, not mine. It is freeing. Story 52. As a stereotypical good-looking person who receives many compliments, my appearance actually lowers my confidence because I am always worrying about anything that might make me no longer look that way. I suffer from bulimia due to fear of weight gain, anxieties about aging, and other concerns. I guess a person with true inner confidence does not really care about how they look. Whether a person is attractive or not, they are just a human being who does not focus on appearance. Beauty is a strange concept that loses its importance or stops existing when you stop identifying with it. Story 53. There are about 1 million things in the world you can be that are more interesting than fitting a beauty standard. They do not fade with time. Be those things instead. Story 54. Be authentic. Stop caring about what people think. I mean, really stop caring. You need to understand that you do not actually need anyone, and you would rather be alone in the world than to succumb to the judgment of others. That judgment includes what people think of your appearance. Also, forget them. Ironically, adopting this state of mind exudes confidence, and people begin to find you more attractive as a genuine person. You also become rarer, and rarity translates to value in their eyes. Story 55. I like to go on Reddit and ask questions like this with the implicit assumption that I am handsome, and when people do not question that assumption, I feel my insecurities validated, you ogre. Real talk though, whatever a person's insecurities might be, physical or otherwise, you can either love yourself or hate yourself. Easy choice. Story 56. By becoming wealthy, once you have money, you could look unattractive in expensive clothing, and people would still line up to show you respect. Story 57. I have seen the ugliest, ogre-looking neckbeard greasebags attract the most beautiful women imaginable simply by being incredibly hilarious and not caring at all about what others thought of them. Story 58. Realizing I am going to die one day and it will not matter what people think. Steve Buscemi is living his best life. Why can't I? Story 59. By educating myself. This is by far the best way to gain confidence. I have always been a curious person about many things, and my grades were mostly great. When you are the only person in the room who is clearly more educated and has good manners, people respect you and you feel more confident. However, do not forget to be humble. Otherwise, you will be arrogant, and that is not good. Story 60. Then flex the skill in which you are supremely charming. That is how you can gain confidence and, obviously, follow a healthy lifestyle and required routine to gain more. Story 61. There is a legitimate option to spend years improving your appearance. You can significantly enhance your looks if you dedicate time and are willing to use any measures. Story 62. You begin by taking care of yourself hygienically. Hygiene is a key to attractiveness. Next, work on your self-image. Therapy can help you find the underlying reasons for any lack of confidence beyond outward appearance. Then, develop your skills in hobbies. Choose something you enjoy and improve at it. Hobbies are attractive, and they build confidence in your abilities. People will naturally gather around you, and your looks will matter less. or people will find you physically attractive because you share hobbies. I was not attractive, but I was able to find love regardless of looks. It just takes time. Story 63. I am as hot or as ugly as the person in front of me believes I am. It's that simple. What I can control is simple grooming and style. My face is my face. My body is my body. But my facial hair? Easily controllable. I wear all black to a funeral, khakis and a button-up shirt to work, jeans and a t-shirt to a concert, shorts and flip-flops to the beach. I decide if I am going to be properly attired and well manicured. That's on me. If I'm wearing a hoodie to the beach or a suit to McDonald's, I get the looks I was asking for, intentionally or unintentionally. But if I have a crooked nose and gnarly teeth, that's for other people to deal with, not mine to judge. Story 64. I am as attractive or as unattractive as the person in front of me believes I am. It's that simple. What I can control is simple grooming and style. My face is my face. My body is my body. But my facial hair? Easily controllable. I wear all black to a funeral, khakis and a button-up shirt to work, jeans and a t-shirt to a concert, shorts and flip-flops to the beach. I decide if I am going to be properly attired and well manicured. That's on me. If I'm wearing a hoodie to the beach or a suit to McDonald's, I get the looks I was asking for, intentionally or unintentionally. But if I have a crooked nose and oddly spaced teeth, that's for other people to deal with, not mine to judge. Story 65. What an unkind move to post a question like this. Now that the situation is clear, focus on improving your physical fitness. In today's world, where many people are overweight, having a fit body greatly increases attractiveness. Commit to regular exercise. I am in my 5th month of working out 5 to 6 days a week, and I can tell I am getting noticed much more than when I started. Story 66. You learn not to care about other people's opinions of your appearance and do what you need to do instead of doing what you think people expect you to do to impress them. When you stop measuring your worth according to other people's expectations, you will naturally grow more confident. Story 67. By getting in shape and talking to people. You can be unattractive, but if you are in shape, you will still be considered by women. If you are able to carry a conversation about anything, this also improves your appeal. Talking is great practice. Watching others talk also helps. Story 68. I always maintain good hygiene. I shower twice a day, morning and night, and keep my dental hygiene up. I dress nicely when I go out in public and wear a decent quality cologne. I also do my best to have a friendly and respectful attitude towards everyone around me. Usually, if I dress nicely, smell nice, and act nice, people are more comfortable talking to me and being around me. Story 69. Dress well, focus on being fit and taking care of yourself, gain work, education, and life experience so you are considerate, and do not be bitter. Walk into a room with confidence. Story 70. I adopt the fake it till you make it mentality. I am self-conscious about my appearance and aware that I am not conventionally attractive. To me, I look how I want. I dress how I want. I do everything I can despite having randomly generated features that I cannot control. I do things that make me feel good about how I look. I do not care if anyone else likes it or finds me attractive. If I am lonely my entire life because of my appearance, then so be it. If nobody is willing to get to know me because they are appalled by how I look, there is nothing I can do about that. All I can do is live a life I am proud of and content with. That is infinitely more valuable than compromising anything for anyone regarding my personal style and looks. Story 71. Many men completely neglect their appearance. They believe they do not look like a movie star naturally, so there is nothing they can do which makes them look worse. Even if you are average, there is still plenty you can do as a man to make yourself at least average in appearance. Going to the gym, grooming your hair, and wearing appropriate clothes are all relatively inexpensive, simple, and greatly improve your looks. Story 72. Honestly, I feel like I look awful with my natural hair and eyebrows, so I plucked them and dyed my brows darker because my natural eyebrows are light and barely visible. I started bleaching my hair to light blonde to feel better about myself. Sometimes you are not necessarily unattractive. You just need to tweak your features to enhance them. When I started bleaching and styling my hair, people suddenly began to notice me. If you wear glasses, consider changing the style. I did not realize how badly my old glasses made me look. Story 73. Disapprove of lookism and recognize how unjust lookism is. Any intelligent person would agree lookism is generally harmful. Story 74. Dude, I am not that pretty, but I trick people into thinking I am. Not even through makeup, but through eye contact, cleanliness, and positivity. It's weird. I dress with style and wear nice jewelry, not too flashy, but I am pretty plain. People always compliment me. Story 75. Wait until everybody gets old as possible. Everybody will be unattractive then. I am unattractive but have better skin because I did not use extra makeup and hair dye. Maybe I am relatively less unattractive. My work friend had all wrinkly eyes before she was 30 from stretching them to put on eye makeup. Story 76. You have to work with what is in your control. You would be amazed at what decent grooming, clothing, and some exercise can do. Accepting that you will never just be the person who wakes up, does nothing, and is attractive can be difficult, but you are here, so that means someone with your genetics succeeded. Do not, and I repeat, do not fall into pessimism and get so down on yourself that you drag others down. Work on learning how to talk to people, carry a conversation, and really make them feel heard. Even an attractive person can be unappealing if they have nothing to say. Learning that requires taking risks and being social. There are no easy tricks, but it gets easier, and I promise you can exceed expectations. Story 77. Every once in a while, I look at myself in the mirror and think, God, my head looks weird. I'm overweight, have man boobs, crooked eyebrows. I'm one ugly person. And I start to feel shame and embarrassment. Then I go through my checklist. Can I effectively do my job? Yes. Am I surviving? Yes. Do I smell bad? No. Well, look at me, I'm doing all right. Who cares if I'm overweight and unattractive? I can still fully function and don't seem to be bothering anyone. I'm doing all right. Story 78. As a guy, I worked in finance and dressed really well. First dates were at a very nice restaurant with 2 fantastic tickets to a popular play or musical. Story 79. That one line from Juno about just needing to find the person who looks at you like the sun shines out of you no matter what. It never leaves me because the right people will think exactly that. Look, in my opinion, the best thing you can do is find a person who loves you for exactly what you are. Good mood, bad mood, ugly, pretty, handsome, whatever. The right person is still going to think the sun shines out of you. And when that fails, if I have a couple of beers and look in the mirror, I'm that person who thinks the sun shines out of me. Sure, maybe I'm ugly otherwise, but at least for that one moment, I'm not. That lets me see how someone else could maybe see me in a different light than I do. Maybe they have to be drunk, but hey. Story 80. Confidence from appearance is weak. True confidence comes from effort and accomplishments. Become highly skilled at something, anything. Improve your physical fitness, excel at a game, make an impact at work, achieve excellent grades, and more. This will positively influence other areas of your life. Story 81. Not calling yourself ugly is a good start. Takes work. I get it, but stop calling yourself ugly. Focus on what is positive in you instead and make it your identity. Story 82. Highly recommend getting many tattoos, especially face tattoos. Not necessarily to cover things up. It just makes everyone more attractive. Story 83. Who is to say who is ugly? I believe beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So ugly is what we feel we are. Do not let others be the reason you feel that way. They do not matter. Story 84. It's all a scale. There are people who don't think you're ugly, and it's not like you will ever be with anyone who doesn't find you attractive anyway. So just forget what they think and do your thing. Lean into doing what you love and spend time with people who love you. Story 85. Find other people who are considered unattractive and engage with them intimately. Do this often enough and you will realize that no one is truly unattractive. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.